Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Super Talk. Excited to be here on this beautiful day in McAllen, Texas. I'm here with Jake Berry, who is our Director of Community Information and the producer of the Super Talk. Excited to have a very, very special guest with us here today, talking about some important information. So, Jake, tell us about our guest.
Well, I'm pleased to introduce Dalinda Gonzalez Alcantar. She's a mom, wife, and social entrepreneur, currently serving her community as the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen, serving over 8,000 K through 12 children and teens through after-school programming, summer camps, and athletics. Prior to this, she was actually born in McAllen, Texas. She's taught for 10 years, and she has been a graduate of McAllen ISD.
That's
I'll let
right.
you say all the schools you went to here in McAllen ISD, but you also taught for the district for 4 years.
That's right.
And she also has 2 kids in the district, right?
I do.
We have Elijah, we have Madeline.
That's right.
And Elijah's going to graduate this year.
He is going to graduate in a few weeks.
That
I know.
is awesome.
From Rowe High School. We're a proud Warrior family. Though I did graduate from McAllen High School, so go Bulldogs. But also go Mustangs because we serve kids from all of the area.
Fantastic. We're very, very proud to have you here today. We know you do so much for our community. And by the way, congratulations on being elected as the South Texas College Board of Trustees. So that's very proud of you. You're going to represent them well.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
But thanks for everything that you do. I know that our relationship has grown over the years, and there's so many kids that are benefiting from this relationship with the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, you look at the Elevate program and how that's taken off, and just what you do at the club for our kids. We're so grateful for that. And to all the parents out there, this conversation revolves around trying to get the message out to the community to make sure that we prevent the summer slide, that we keep our kids busy. Whether it's your child needs help in the acceleration program that we have in McAllen ISD, 3rd through 8th grade, reading, writing, mathematics. We'll have camps that run 4 weeks during the summertime that can help your child, or whether it be your child's doing well academically, but you're interested in them being in a coding camp or a cybersecurity camp, or they need SAT or ACT preparation, or they need to go in to get polished up in the area of fine arts or athletics. There's just so many opportunities, but the one thing that we want is everybody to stay busy. We're a high-performing district, and that wouldn't be possible without the relationship that we have with entities across the city, to include the Boys and Girls Club. So, Delinda, from your perspective, why is it important to have the summer plan for your kids as a parent?
Yes. So as a parent, that's really important. Data continues to suggest, and this is pre-COVID pandemic data, that suggests that there's between like a 17 and 34% learning loss every single summer if we don't have a summer plan for our kids. And so if you begin to think about that, that's every year. So if you compound that, then those are whole grade levels that are actually lost. So I think it's really valuable that every single parent has a summer plan for their kids. I'm not saying, I was mentioning to Jake earlier, I'm not saying that kids need to be stimulated every single second, overstimulated with this and that and the running around. But I do think it's important that every parent stops and says, what am I going to do with my child this summer? There's a lot of offerings, whether it's Boys and Girls Club of McAllen, which of course I think we do it best. But then there's also, day camps and there's enrichment camps. But, the great thing at McAllen ISD is you guys actually have something for high school as well. There's the CTE camps that you have. But what this conversation is about is just kind of a sense of urgency that we really need to begin right now having summer plans established for all of our kids.
And that's important, parents and students that are listening. We hope that the Super Talk acts as a catalyst for families to start to have conversations at dinner about what are we going to do with the kids during the summertime, because we know for moms and dads, work continues. And not only is that a service to provide for families where we'll watch your kids, but we want it to be valuable time. We don't want it to be babysitting by any means. So it's going to be quality, and it's going to be goal-oriented. There's going to be a mission behind it, and it's about making your kid the best version of themselves. But it takes all of us working together. So if you have questions about programs that are going on in McAllen ISD, reach out to your campus. Our campus principals will have all the information. Go to our website. We have a QR code that you can click on and get all the different programs that are running during the summertime. But the bigger thing is just not to let your kids sit idle.
Right.
We're coming out of a world pandemic,
Right.
and we know that being active is more important than ever. So what have you seen just from a parent standpoint as a mom? I know you have 2 kids in the district. One is a senior, Elijah, and we have Madeline that is in middle school.
She's 6th grade. Yes, she's in 6th grade. She's going to be a 7th grader at De Leon next year. It's unbelievable. It's been a great experience for our family, for my kids to be here, at McAllen ISD. But one thing, that I think is really valuable, again, for my children, to make sure that they are active. And so physical activity in my family is really valuable. And so at the Boys and Girls Club, when you go to a Boys and Girls Club, and then there's also, activities that you guys are providing. Physical activity and combating the obesity epidemic needs to also be part of anyone's summer plan. And then you talk about food security. I actually want to kind of have a call out to teachers right now and be very intentional with saying which one of my kids, or maybe a few kids in my classroom, that I know when summer ends, they're going to really struggle with getting a meal. And then I would say plug them into the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen. Because in partnership with McAllen ISD, we serve breakfast, we serve lunch, and then we have this really cute thing called Little Chefs, where they actually learn how to make nutritious meals. But at the highest level, making sure the kids' needs are met, right? So I think that teachers are really, really going to be that catalyst to help make sure that we plug in the kids that really, really need summer camp. And so again, at the Boys and Girls Club, it's about combating the obesity epidemic. It's about combating that food insecurity that we have here. We're super proud that we also have a very strong mental health program. We work in conjunction with you guys here. And so if you're having children that are still struggling with coming out of isolation, which is what we see, we all see this in our classrooms and then at the Boys and Girls Club, continuing to make sure that they have opportunities to socialize. But we do learn. We learn a lot of really cool things at the club as well. And so I think the summer plan isn't just about academics. It's about socialization. It's about combating some of these statistics that we struggle with here in our region. So again, the summer plan is really valuable.
And I love that as a consumer, because my kids go to the Boys and Girls Club and participate, and I can tell you that it's just a world-class organization. Everybody within that entity is polished, and everybody's got their heart in the right place. And
Sure.
and you can tell that they're following the mission to make sure that we get all kids in a position to excel and participate and do all those things that you're talking about. So that all the parents that, if you haven't had your child take part in the Boys and Girls Club, then I encourage you to do so. As a dad, my wife and I are thrilled, whether it be the opportunities to participate in the athletic arena, and we've also had them just go to the summer camps, and they're just phenomenal. It's just, there's so much learning that goes on. So there's a lot of congruency between the Boys and Girls Club and McAllen ISD, and that's what makes it so powerful.
For sure.
I think that if you think about the Elevate program, talk to us about that. How has that grown?
Oh my gosh, that is, we can't even continue to, we just can't wrap our minds around how big it is. But, I can tell you, in meeting new community members here recently in this new season in my life, I had a parent actually share with me, and she did get very emotional. She said that coming out of the pandemic, I know her child goes to Hendrix. I do remember that. Coming out of the pandemic, she didn't want to do anything. The transition from isolation back into society was very difficult for her. She was really struggling with depression. It was something new to the family. She couldn't really get her to do anything. But thankfully, a coach at Hendrix, mentioned to her, I really think you need to play volleyball. You're going to play for the team. You're going to wear, the school colors. We're going to have the cheerleaders out there. And when this mom was telling me this story, she started to cry, and she said, I really think that it saved her life. So for me, Elevate has never been just about the athletic component and the skill developing. It's so much more. It's about plugging in at-risk kids, giving them a positive group to be part of and representing their school. We know that athletics changes lives in more way than just skill development, for sure.
And that's exciting. I know that we have Elevate in the 5th and 6th grade, and we have a dream of pushing it down to the 4th grade. And now you're thinking, man, the volume is just so many kids, but we need to work together and try to find a way to do that, because we want to put kids in a position to not have to be involved in club ball or special training. We want to say, when you come to McAllen ISD, we know parents are busy. We're going to teach your kids just as good as any of these other programs that you'd have to pay for. And that comes to the work of the Boys and Girls Club and McAllen ISD, and giving these kids exposure so that their first time competing at a competitive level is not going to be 7th grade. It's going to be, at this point, 5th grade, and hopefully one day down the road, 4th grade. And that's just going to make us that much stronger. For
sure. No, absolutely. And in the summer, again, I know McAllen ISD, you guys have the open gym, and there's more information. I know that we're going to share the link so that, parents can find out what they can do with their schools. But in terms of Boys and Girls Club and that type of activity, they're still more than welcome to come to our club. We have what's called triple play, and triple play is meaningful play and socialization. It's very structured play. And then a lot of people don't know, but our brand center out on Galveston and South McAllen is open for teens to kind of ball up until 9 p.m. So if you want to see some good basketball, we don't have maybe a playground where people all come together, but we actually have have players from all across the region that go play ball at our brand center. It is open for teens until 9 p.m. So it's a really cool experience to kind of look down at my office and see, because then those players end up being MVP. They end up being playing all region, and we have them there at the club. So everyone's welcome to go. It's a really, really great kind of neighborhood time to be there at the club.
I love that. And I know that for me, I sit here because of wonderful teachers that I had, but I had great coaches, and athletics played a key role in teaching me how to win and teaching me how to lose and how to prepare and how to fight for something. And I think that all those skill sets, you know, you may not go off and play in the NBA, but you're definitely going to take what you learned through athletics and apply it to life. And it just sets you on this whole new trajectory.
Yes. And just fun fact for everybody, over 90% of females that are in leadership positions and in Fortune 500 companies on boards and in leadership positions, they played at least high school sports. So again, it's not when people invest in the Boys and Girls Club or when they take their girls to play at the Boys and Girls Club. Again, this is not just about skill development. It's about me saying, when I went to Lincoln Middle School, when I went to Mac High, I played all the sports. I was a pitcher. I talk a lot about the fact that one of my first leadership roles was facilitating the game of softball as a pitcher. And now I can see how so much of those skills at Mac High help me every single day. So when you actually look at the direct correlation between healthy habits with women and including being in healthy relationships, this all goes back to athletics. So it's interesting if you dive a little bit more into what athletics does for women.
I'm loving this conversation, and I love that the SuperTalk opens up conversations to the world, because used to I'd be in a situation where I'd be having this conversation in isolation and I'd be the only one benefiting from this. But right now, the whole world and our community can look and say, well, I need to make sure that I get my kids involved in something. There's some statistics that show the benefits of getting kids in extracurriculars. And one thing, I visited with valedictorians, and I talked to parents. I met with their families. And I was just intrigued. I asked them, what did it take? You got 500 kids in a class and your child is number one. And one of the common themes was to read a lot. Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking is that formula that I got from reading a lot of material to getting them involved in extracurricular activities, if you couple a lot of reading with participating in extracurriculars, whether it's athletics, fine arts, CTE, anything that makes you a part of something bigger than yourself and teaches you how to win and lose and prepare, coupled with reading, I believe is the formula.
For sure. And so also, we have what's called brain gain in the summer. So brain gain are actual measurable objectives that are met by grade level at the Boys and Girls Club. It's 50 minutes out of the day. And so there's a huge reading component to that as well. So when you go to the Boys and Girls Club, there's library time. There's what's called brain gain. We do. And I was telling the group here earlier, we're very excited because the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen was selected from 1,400 clubs across the country. We are just one of 20 that is officially a Boys and Girls Club Apple site. So Apple invested quite a bit of money, into our Boys and Girls Club. And so the kids are going to be the beneficiaries of that. We're actually going to be launching that this summer. So when a child goes to summer camp at the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen, specific to the Roney Center right now, and we will definitely extend that further out here soon, They do have an aggressive curriculum to learn to code, but Apple has invested a lot of money here in McAllen to make sure that kids that go to the Boys and Girls Club for summer camp have an opportunity to learn computer science. So they'll be receiving an iPad, and just, our team right now has been aggressively training up so that we are prepared to teach them. So, summer camp at the Boys and Girls Club, if you traditionally had gone in the past, maybe it wasn't what you're hearing now, but I can tell you again, having a summer plan, but we would love to see, all of the kids at the Boys and Girls Club. And, reading is, again, a big component of that, a huge component. But any language like computer science is learned at the Boys and Girls Club.
So if there's any parents out there that have questions about the Boys and Girls Club, who can they call?
Okay, so a few things I'm going to plug. So our website, you can go to www.bgcmcallen.net, and I know we'll have that in the comments, so I think that's important. What is something important that we need to address is costs, right? So I can tell you that in all of the gigs in town, we're the one that's open all summer. So we start in the beginning of June and we go all the way to August 12th. So we almost have 12 weeks, and we open at 7:45, and you can pick up your kids late as 5:15. It includes breakfast and lunch, and you're gonna be blown away by the fact that it's only $185 for the entire summer with everything included. It's all inclusive. But we do have scholarships available. Everyone is welcome at the Boys and Girls Club, and we never turn anybody away. If there is questions about the scholarship portion of it, then you can give us a call at 687-3910. But mostly everything is online. If you're just needing to register your kid, you do have to go to our website to do that. It's definitely the biggest bang for your buck in our community. And of course, I'm not even biased. I can tell you objectively that we are the best camp.
And I agree. And there you go. McAllen ISD and the Boys and Girls Club of McAllen are rocking and rolling. And we're ready to get your kids involved this summer to prevent that summer slide. So parents, please know that you can count on us as world-class organizations, and your children will benefit greatly. Any closing remarks before we go?
I would also like to say again, frontline teachers making the absolute most difference. Please consider looking at your kids and specifically saying, I need to make sure that this child has a summer plan. I know everybody's really, really busy, but even if you send out the flyer from the Boys and Girls Club or the catalog that you guys have online, just that last push to make sure that our kids have a space for learning. I think teachers are going to make all of the difference as usual, right? They're going to make all of the difference during the summer planning, making sure that their families have the information they need to be able to make a good decision.
To the community, we're an A-rated school district. We earned the post-secondary readiness distinction, an A on the Financial Integrity Award. We also earned the Golden Apple from the United Way for giving the most, the It's Time Texas Challenge for being the healthiest district in the state, the most coveted award in the HEB Excellence in Education Award, and that's just naming a few. That doesn't happen without these conversations, and that doesn't happen without putting the effort in that we're going to put in this summer to prevent that summer slide. We got to keep outworking and outthinking the competition to continue being a driving force. So thank you all for joining the Super Talk. Have a wonderful day.